If you want to have a stall, put one outside a school. Look how many people are here. All for these kind of flavoured ice cream shakes. Hello everyone!
Where are you from? Where are you from?
London!
London! London!
Trying to be. See you everyone! And here we are, day 2 in Danang. And I'm actually going a bit inland now, even if it's only briefly. There's an incredibly famous bridge, of all things, in Danang. And I just quickly want to show people it, because it's pretty impressive from what I remember 3 or 4 years ago. And so we're actually going to go by the river, maybe slightly check over just the other side of the river, have a bite to eat, maybe a couple of beers, and then come back down to the beach. The streets are absolutely lovely in Danang. I remember this from 3 or 4 years ago when I was here. It's just so nice. You've got the trees kind of going over the streets, and it makes for really nice when you walk in, and it looks pretty good on camera as well. Yeah, it's one of my favourite things about Danang, just these little side streets as you get away from the beach. Really, really nice. Very peaceful as well. One of these streets where you'll know if you've been around Southeast Asia, where if you look left or right you're basically staring in someone's living room. But they don't seem to mind at all. And so here we are, Dragon Bridge in Danang, a really famous bridge in the whole of Vietnam. It doesn't look quite as impressive when it's not night time, but at the weekend around 9 o'clock there is a fire and water show that actually comes out of this dragon's mouth. So that is the time to come along this bridge if you want to. I'm gonna go over the river now, and I forgot how big this river is. It is absolutely colossal. I'm going to go over the other side, grab some food, and then come back over here, and hopefully there'll be a few lights that make this bridge even more spectacular. Let's go. Check out the size of this river. It's been quite a bit of shock actually. I forgot how wide this river is. It is huge. And as we walk across the Dragon Bridge over the Han River, we come to Apec Park, which is just an area that all like families and people have an evening stroll around. Got some really nice plants here, and it looks like a little restaurant that's on a boat over there. Now I can't exactly talk, but the amount of photographs and videos that are being taken around this little park is absolutely insane. But it's pretty nice. And I've been speaking about this to a few people, but the reason in Asia they're so open about you sticking a GoPro in their face is because they're doing it themselves. I'm going to get a bit of a shock when I try and do this in Europe, because people are nowhere near as open, especially when it comes to filming. We're going to find out. A nice little walkway under the start of this Dragon Bridge, or the end, whichever way you want to see it. So let's go and get some food, and then let's come back and go back over the bridge to the beach when it's all lit up. And here we go. Just a nice stir fry, beef, cabbage. What more can you want? Stick a load of sweet chilli sauce on. Have a little sip of my green Saigon. And relax for 5 minutes. So, this is definitely probably the best bar that I think that's on the river strip. And it's called Bamboo Bar. You can't really miss it. There's the Dragon Bridge. As you go on the tail, turn right, and you'll see Bamboo Bar. Now, like everywhere in Danang, everywhere is so quiet at the moment because of COVID, but hopefully things are going to pick up. But yeah, check out Bamboo Bar if you're ever by the river in Danang. And they play sports and have good music in here, so check it out. Here we are again on the Dragon Bridge, but this time at night when it's lit up. And yeah, it's really impressive, but I think it'll be a lot better at the weekends when you've got a bit of a light and fire show going on this bridge. As we're walking along the bridge, I'd like to have a little talk about the bar scene in Danang, and especially the Riverside bar scene, because to be honest, it's a little bit disappointing. Yes, it's very quiet because it's post-COVID, but even 4 years ago when I was here, I didn't really like it. It's a strange city in a way because you've got the ocean and a river going through the city, and it's about a 15-minute walk in between both. So are you going to choose to have a drink by the river where there's loads of cars and mopeds going past you, or a drink on the beach? For me, and for most people, it's always going to be the beach, right? Even at night time. So I think it's the reason why the bar scene and the restaurant scene just isn't quite as good along the river as it would be in other cities. That's my opinion anyway. And to finish this video, I'm actually going to head back to an area that's not too far away from the beach that I believe is the best place for bars in the whole of Danang. But the only trouble is that you can really tell COVID has kind of hit Danang really hard. When you go to big cities like Ho Chi Minh and Bangkok, you notice COVID's happened, there's less tourism, but when you're in a small city you can actually notice it even more. It's the harsh reality of Southeast Asia post-COVID. It's just really quiet, and there's not much you can do about it, right? So it's good to inform people of the different situation that Southeast Asia's in, because a lot of these businesses must be really struggling at the minute. Saying everywhere's quiet in Danang though, it's not completely true. When you've got barbecue places like this, all this sells is barbecue in the evenings, and look how busy it is. There could be 300 people in this restaurant, so the strongest ones always survive. Wow, that's a busy restaurant, and you can tell it only serves barbecue when it's got these hot plates, so it's literally the only food you can get. Gotta try it out one day. It just can be really hard ordering from restaurants like that because everything's in Vietnamese. Obviously you can point and that, but I've got to check that out one day. Look how busy it is. We walk to the bar area that might be busy or not, we don't know. One thing that is busy in Vietnam, and that's pool centres. Whether you like billiards, pool, snooker, you will not struggle in Vietnam. They call them billiard centres here, and for anybody who knows me, who watches the channel, knows I like to play a little bit of pool, and they are everywhere in Vietnam. And they're always absolutely heaving, really busy. So if you like pool, you like snooker, you like billiards, check these places out when you're in Vietnam. And so I'm back to one of my favourite bars in the whole of Southeast Asia when I was here 4 years ago. Sadly, it looks like it's got a little bit smaller, I think, and obviously not as many people. But this bar's called Heaven in Danang, and whenever you're in Danang, you gotta check it out. There's reggae in the background, the beers are cheap, and there's a couple of things going on which are pretty cool as well. I'm sure you can guess. I think the word's chilled out when it comes to the vibe of this bar, and this is really, really nice. I love it here so much.